Hi everyone, my name is Nastya and you're on my channel all about sewing stuff. This is my second video. In the first one I showed how to make flowers from crinkled organza. Be sure to check it out, the flowers turn out really beautiful. You can use them as standalone accessories or to decorate a veil, dress, corset, even shoes. And by the way, you don't need any special tools for it. In that video I promised to show how similar flowers would look when made from different fabrics. I found 7 suitable options of varying density and textures. Since I mostly sew wedding dresses and corsets, the fabrics I have are mostly in shades of white, but there are a couple of black ones too. Let's start with taffeta. It's fairly stiff, you could even call it a dry fabric. It wrinkles easily, but it doesn't need to look perfect anyway. An interesting feature, it makes a slight rustling sound. If you made a skirt from it, it would swish as you move. The width is 150 cm, 100% polyester, density 100 grams per square meter. Always pay attention to how the fabric behaves on video when I simply crumple it in my hands. It helps find a good match. This fabric tears easily, but it's hard to pierce. Needles leave noticeable holes, so it's better not to unpick any seams. It doesn't react much to flame, only shrinks a little, so I had to heat the large petals slightly over a candle to get them to curl. That not only reduced their size, but also gave them a more interesting shape. Then I assembled the flower. And here's the result. I used 2 types of petals and ended up with something that looks like a blooming peony. This is how it looks on a corset, for example. At first it seemed too big, but then I thought it would actually look great on a minimalist corset made of the same taffeta with a voluminous skirt. Next is nylon organza. A very unusual fabric. Thin, not too transparent, with a crinkled, slightly rough texture, a bit like gauze. Width 150 cm, density 40 grams per square meter, 100% nylon. It tears easily, folds well, doesn't slip, and is very convenient to cut and cinch. Needles don't leave marks. It doesn't change much in size when exposed to heat. I wouldn't make petals too large with this one. It holds its shape only up to a point, then starts to collapse under its own weight. The flowers from it turn out more compact. Now chiffon. This one's denser than standard chiffon, not very transparent, matte and heavy for its category, and I love that. It drapes beautifully, especially in a circle skirt. It feels like the fabric wraps around you like water. Width 150 cm, density 30 grams per square meter, 100% polyester. Flowers from this chiffon turn out a bit heavy, especially if you are making them for a veil. Maybe just as a small decorative accent like this on the top of the head. It's pleasant to work with. No needle marks, easy to cut, predictable behavior with heat. Moderate shrinkage. Don't make the petals too big, or they might lose shape. Sometimes I add extra stitching not only at the base, but also along the edges. Next is Crinkled taffeta. Really interesting texture. I've already made a corset from a similar one and loved the result. I think I'll also make a balloon skirt and turn it into a set for the collection. Now I decided to try making flowers. Width 150 cm, density 80 grams per square meter, 100% polyester. It tears cleanly, but it's harder to fold and pin. The biggest challenge is singeing. You need to find the right angle and distance so the fabric doesn't melt or blacken. I think it's treated with something to create the wrinkle effect, and when heated it smokes and smells horrible, really chemical. I couldn't turn on the air conditioner, the candle flame would flicker. So I had to air out the room and myself and work in short bursts. The result was worth it. The flowers turned out stunning. Next, ivory twill taffeta. I love this fabric. We made a wedding dress from it and it turned out gorgeous. Width 150 cm, density 160 grams per square meter, 100% polyester. It's not completely matte, has a delicate texture that gives it a refined look. It tears easily but sheds threads everywhere. Doesn't fold well, the edges slip. The most surprising thing, it doesn't react to flame at all, which is super important for creating volume and realistic flowers. But with these flat petals, there's just nothing I can do. So, unfortunately, 1 meter of fabric down the drain, but one more lesson learned. Always test the fabric properties on a small piece first. Then I tried another ivory taffeta thinner than the previous one. I don't remember the exact density, maybe around 60 to 70 grams per square meter. It's more transparent with a rough texture. The weave looks like raindrops on a glass. Very unusual. I made a corset from it, by the way. It wasn't easy, make sure to match the interfacing color, but the result was worth it. It tears easily but sheds threads, cuts well, needle glides smoothly. The petals curl nicely when singed, and the flowers turn out really delicate. I made both large and tiny flowers from it, they all look great. And here is a comparison with the flowers from the first taffeta. Now a total discovery for me. This fabric is absolutely gorgeous. It's crushed satin. The seller listed the color as warm white, but to me it's full-on ivory. A soft, pleasant, natural-looking white. Width 150 cm, density 110 grams per square meter. The crinkled texture is lovely both to the touch and visually. I want to make a minimalist lingerie style wedding dress from it and add a veil, maybe even with these flowers. It's going to be amazing. Tears easily, cuts easily, folding is a nightmare, it slides in all directions, but it was worth the nerves. The flowers came out beautiful. Now I took black crinkled organza. I used the same fabric in off-white in my first video. Width 150 cm, density 25 grams per square meter, 100% polyester. Very easy to work with in every way, shrinks a lot when heated and produces these cute round flowers. I'm not sure yet if I like them, I'll have to see them in a finished piece. This is black crinkled taffeta. Earlier I made flowers from a similar one, but from a different supplier and slightly different quality. I used this one for a corset. Drapes really nicely, by the way. This particular fabric is stiffer, drier, and has an even more pungent chemical smell. It even made my eyes sting if I leaned in too close, and it took more time to work with due to all the ventilation breaks. It also doesn't shrink easily with heat. I had to experiment with angles, otherwise it's nice to be worked with. And the flowers turn out pretty too, though I still need to test them in a finished piece. Now I'll show you these flowers that I made completely by accident while pinning petals on a mannequin. They look like either hydrangeas or carnations, kind of cute and messy. By the way, I think they're even easier to make than the previous ones, but they look just as interesting. I'll show them made from chiffon, but you can try make them from other fabrics. Please write in the comments what you managed to make. I'm really curious to see your results. I take 5 petals to arrange them like this. Then you can add a 6th one, but it's optional. We gather them like this, with just 2 stitches. Then pull the thread to create a fold. And secure the result with a few more stitches and a knot on the back side. Set this flower aside, make a few more the same way. Then on the garment, arrange them in the desired order and fix them in place. I just pin them on the mannequin to show how it looks. And now a few tips. Test the properties of the fabric on a small piece first, so you don't end up discovering later that it doesn't respond to heat or won't curl. This is important. You can't make a proper flower out of flat petals. Some fabrics have a strong smell, so again test on a small piece. And if you absolutely need this fabric, make sure to air out the room. Cut the petals from the square blanks right over the trash can. It will save you time on cleaning. Use candles like this, preferably new ones. For some reason, when I used candles that were already halfway burned down, the petal edges would blacken more often. If the petals are too large, you can try making them smaller. Depending on how you assemble the petals, the bud can turn out differently. To make smaller flowers, simply make the petals smaller. You can also divide a 15-16 cm strip into 9 parts or just use the smaller petals. And on each flower, I noted the actual assembly time for making the flower from petals, not counting the time for cutting and heat shaping the petals. On average, assembling one flower took me from 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the size. It's time-consuming, detailed work. That's all for now. Thank you for watching until the end. If you enjoyed it and found it helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. This helps the YouTube algorithms show the video more often, and it gives me the motivation and energy to keep making new ones. Bye!